Hello, and welcome to Updated Autopsy Report, a podcast from Ben and Friends where we replay the entire Ace Attorney series with longtime fans and newcomers. I'm your host, Ben, and with me today is Dessy.
Hello.
And two friends of ours, Tiago.
Yeah.
And Rose.
Hi.
Dessy and I are the longtime fans, and Rose and Tiago are the newcomers to the series. We hope that through both of our perspectives as we play through the series, it'll reveal new details and provide interesting commentary for a game that is near and dear to us. Today we have all played through 2-2, Reunion, and Turnabout, which is the second case of Game 2. Justice for all, we last played the tutorial case of this game and kind of got ourselves reacclimated. But this is like the first full, real-ass case of the game. And it is technically set before the first case because it is how did Phoenix meet back up with Maya after she's been training for a while up in Crane Village. So the general summary of this, we start out with Phoenix sitting around in his office. After we get our little intro first, our teaser, our Columbo intro with a red sports car racing down the highway and then crashing and explosions and fire going everywhere. And somebody saying like, "Oh, I took my revenge, it's only fair, isn't it?" And then we intro into the Wright and Co. law offices with Phoenix sitting there, and meets Dr. Turner Gray, a surgeon who wants to repair his reputation after a malpractice incident that happened at his practice. This is wild. 14 patients died due to a mix-up of medications, and the blame had been placed on a nurse of his. But then, before anything could happen, she died in a mysterious car accident. So, of course, everybody thinks that Gray, Dr. Gray, is the one who killed her to, get her out of the picture quickly. And so he's like, well, hey, listen, Phoenix, right? I know that you know Maya Fey, and she's a spirit medium. And I bet that she could channel the spirit of my dead nurse and exonerate me. And so that's the setup for this case.
God, yeah.
It's real in this universe.
I like that that's his first solution for restoring his reputation is spirit channeling. Maybe it's not his first choice, but it is very funny that he ends up here. And so then Phoenix is like, all right, I guess we're gonna go meet Maya. And so they head up to Crane Village, and almost immediately there's hardly any preamble. Then you meet Maya, and she's like, hey Nick, how's it been? And he's just like, oh yeah, hi.
Pretty good, I guess.
So Maya, has agreed to this, and she had initially agreed to this with Dr. Gray before Gray even comes to Phoenix. The prerequisite for Maya agreeing to do this job was that Gray convinces Phoenix to come up and visit her. So they go into the channeling chamber to do this ceremony, and the setup then is we meet some of the other characters here, such as Maya's aunt, Morgan Fey, who will be a pretty prominent character in this. We meet Pearl Fey, who we, don't get her name at the moment we meet her, but she's like this little girl, running around, hiding behind things, very scared of Phoenix. And we see some familiar faces as well, like Lotta Hart is back here. And then everything goes horribly wrong, and the murder happens. Yes, of course. And of course, Maya is implicated again because what appears to have happened is that she channeled the spirit of the nurse, and then the nurse kills Dr. Gray with both a knife and a gun. Stabbed, then shot.
The legal implications of this are staggering.
It's so much.
Uh-huh.
Now, I think before we get into the opinions, I just want to add just a little more context for this. So, again, I've been doing some reading on the Gyakuten Saiban Library, translations of Takumi's old blog posts by the translator there, Ash. They've done some great work, and I always want to plug them because this is my easiest way to read these blog posts in English. And Takumi writes quite a bit about why he set things up this way. And he wanted to do a case with spirit channeling as the main theme. He got some feedback for game 1, and I'm going to quote here. I sometimes came across opinions like, actually spirit channeling is against the rules of mystery fiction. To my surprise, it appeared that there were people who thought that being realistic is a necessary condition for mystery fiction. But in my eyes, mystery fiction can do anything it wants to, as long as it can present surprises to the player through the use of beautiful logic. So the only rule that absolutely needs to be followed is that the clues that form the foundation of said logic are clearly presented to the player. So he says, I'm rambling here, but he says that, I think it's totally fine to have magic in your mystery game that doesn't, as long as it follows rules, essentially, is what he's saying here. So he goes into some more details about what he wanted to do and how to make it give it some more solid rules. Like he thought maybe it would be a spirit channeling during a TV program, so it's recorded, so you have evidence that way. But instead opted to just go back to the pictures again. That a lot of heart takes, for that part of the evidence. And I just thought that was very interesting that he instantly came in and was like, nope, I'm fine with magic in my mystery stories here. So I'll toss it over to you guys now. I guess I'll just loop around the list here for who's listed in my Discord call. Dessy, what's your opinion on this case overall, and how you feel about spirit channeling being like such a primary part of this case?
I remember liking this case a lot when I first played it. It was a nice kind of different flavor from what we've gotten from the previous game and the first case. So it was. I'm trying to think what else. I think the spirit channeling piece is really good since Maya's a spirit channeler. It's cool that we get to see more about it. So kind of more from her side rather than just her saying it and you just going, okay. You get to see the kind of place that she's living in, and she talks about the things that she does when she's training and things like that. And Phoenix is like, what?
Yeah, you mean we've gotten to see some spirit channeling happen before with Mia, appearing, but
there's
you mean like in the day-to-day stuff with Maya?
Yeah, it's like you get to see the day-to-day stuff, and there's more to the channeling than just we're using this character as a shell to bring back another character to tell Phoenix he can do it.
Believe in yourself, Phoenix. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, there's more to it than it's just the one-dimensional thing. They make it more, true three-dimensional by kind of showing you that there's a process to becoming a spirit channeler, and the fact that the spirit channeling itself is kind of plays a huge role in the actual case itself. It's really neat. It makes the game a little bit more. It makes it feel a little bit more supernatural.
Oh yeah, it's definitely supernatural up in here.
Yes, but it's like it's more than just like, oh, you can't present this piece of evidence. It's like it's not as black and white as it's been. It's like, oh, now there's a whole nother layer to this case than just somebody killed somebody and we have to figure out how the other person put the blame on somebody. You're still doing that, but like, how do you disprove a spirit channeling?
Yeah, I mean, we'll get to it a little bit later, but the prosecutor in this case does straight up acknowledge that spirit channeling is real and brings that in as part of their argument, against Maya. That is like crucial to their prosecution argument. So yeah. Rose, how did you feel overall about this case and its theming?
I mean, I definitely agree that like it's about time that we addressed the fact that there is objectively spirit mediums that are actually doing something, and there's physical proof of ghosts and this shit working. So it's about damn time we did something with it, I think, other than, like you guys said, just, believe in yourself, Phoenix. I was really hoping to legislate some more actual ghost law.
To actually, get the details in there.
No, Your Honor. No, this is real, and, here's how we're gonna do it. Like, let's set some legal precedents here.
His Honor wasn't ever questioning that it was real.
I know,
He's just like, yep, you're right.
He just bought it. And here's the thing about my dad, the judge, is that I would have bought it too, because it's finally time for Francisca, and I'll believe anything she tells me.
Oh,
There we go. That's my stated point. It's finally here.
Tiago?
So like this case, right? There's like ghosts and shit in it. Maya, someone's ghost, Mia is a ghost. I don't know if this case really brought spirit, like this entire case could be done without ghosts in it, right? Like it's simply just a closed room murder case.
Yeah.
In which the culprit was disguising themselves as another person. We'll get more into that later. So like I didn't feel like this case didn't really like make this a supernatural game to me. It just made it like there's ghosts here. It works, I guess.
Like I said, I was hoping to legislate some actual ghost law. But I got distracted.
If I recall correctly, the judge's response to ghosts was simply just not understanding it, and Francisca just goes like, alright, don't worry about that. Just know that I'm right. Even though, like, if we truly discussed it, Maya would not have been guilty because she was possessed at the time, which means it was not her committing the murder. But
right. It's one of those things where we can only go so far with spirit mediums existing in this world, because otherwise it would literally upend all of existence. So you always have to like do this little dance of like, yeah, spirit mediums are real and they affect the case and we're going to bring it up in court. But there's always the like, but once we leave this courtroom, like it's not necessarily going to like, there's a little mysterious village up in the mountains of Japanifornia, and we're, legislating this case here in court, but it's not like it's going to just be, oh, this is just happening on TV or people are bringing this up on,
it did
CNN
on
or whatever.
It was literally broadcast.
Yeah, it was on live TV.
That's true.
I guess the thing about it is that like, this game didn't do much to like say like, oh, this is going to be a supernatural game until halfway through the fucking case where they introduced the Cyclops. And it was at that point where I was like, oh, this is fucking magic. Cause I'm like, you could probably frame this entire game without using like magic. You know what I mean? Like, fucking the Cyclops, it could just be like a mechanic where it didn't have to be magic. You could just like provide the right
I can tell that they're lying.
Exactly.
Right now,
it could be the LA Noir face scrunch,
Right. Which is it's a very similar idea. I would argue LA Noir takes quite a bit from Phoenix Wright whether they realize it or not.
100%. Yeah, Ellie Noire would not exist without Phoenix Wright, Ace Attorney.
I definitely think that part of the reason that they needed to, even though it was, it's about channeling spirits and things like that, and that it ended up not technically being the case, was it still needs to be like, still have a satisfying and believable ending. Maybe not satisfying as much as believable, and like you're getting the satisfaction of knowing that you used logic to figure the case out rather than the game just saying, well, it's just magic, so yeah.
Yeah, like the game does like make it a point that like even regardless of how much magic is used, everything that happened can be brought out logically, can be discussed logically in a way that like fucking
is believable and can still tell a riveting story.
I wanted to do Ghost Law.
We
I
know
want to
you
be
want
a land-breaking case, groundbreaking, land-breaking. I'm a genius. We're changing how it's pronounced or whatever.
If
The Supreme Court has ruled that if you commit murder while channeling somebody else's spirit, you are not responsible for this
What was
murder.
that movie that came out not too long ago? The Conjuring Devil Made Me Do It one?
That was oh yeah, I forgot about that.
That's like the same thing.
For the guy like, I didn't do it.
He killed people, but it was because he was possessed by the devil.
That dude, honestly, then you have to prove that you're possessed by the devil. And in this situation, it would be totally easy as hell to prove that Maya is a spirit medium, because she could just call any other fucking ghost here.
Yeah,
and
reckless endangerment at best is what I'm saying.
Let's call Manfred von Karma up. I assume he's dead.
I bet he's not.
I believe he's canonically in prison right now.
He's gonna get killed in prison. He's a prosecutor. There's no way he's gonna last long. Listen.
Hell no.
I'm saying logistically, the first week he was in prison, he was already killed.
All right, Tiago.
By everyone he put there.
Yeah, accept your premise. He's dead now.
Yeah, exactly. So, like, we could call him up, and then Francisca's like, tell me something only I know. And Manfred's gonna be like, when I was 8, I forced you to read, like, Legally Blonde.
When he was 8.
What? No, when she was 8 or whatever. I don't know. The fucking point is, we could, if the game decided to, it could establish ghost law. And if it did, then this is an entirely different fucking game.
Yeah, that's the thing, is I'm torn between, like, oh my god, I love true crime and law, and, like, this is a mystery game, bros. You need to, like, chill out. Like, it's gonna be fine.
Also, every time there is a murder, my first immediate thought is, hey, Maya, can you channel the ghost of the person who was killed? Ask them who did it. I'd really appreciate it.
Now we can. Because now she's completed her training, and we're...
Well, no, because I don't think she completed her training, right?
We'll get there. We'll get there.
Okay.
But yeah, like, since we kind of started to get into it a little bit with some of the other characters, I guess we should go down through some of the new characters who are introduced here. The first one that I think you meet, or at least are introduced to, really, is Morgan Fay, Maya's aunt. So here's like a antagonist, basically, you know, like explicitly like outside of the law system, just somebody who's like doing some kind of straight up evil shit. Did anybody have any strong feelings about Morgan here being introduced?
Big hair.
I like that her name was a reference to Morgan Le Fay from you know.
Mm-hmm. Do you think that was like they intended to make that reference? Wait, no!
Oh yeah.
No, wait, it's not fake.
I had to look like side to side to see if I was gonna get away with that joke. And
shot on sight.
So like,
I don't know anything about Fate Grand Order, and I never will.
Yeah, if you listen to this podcast, none of us know about Fate Grand Order,
and that's good.
No fault. Like, listen, if you like it, by all means. It's just that please don't PM us about it. So here's
asking for it.
Yeah. Do you think they came up with that pun before they named Mia and Maya, or was it after?
They would have known that, because they started translating game 1 after all 3 of the original trilogy were out.
Yeah.
So they would have had some foreknowledge, but I genuinely don't know one way or the other whether they deliberately planned that out.
Also, I didn't realize.
But yeah, listen, Faye is already, kind of associated with magical shit, so I feel like it's not a huge leap to make that.
I guess
They're
if you're
probably
well read,
super excited to do that.
I didn't know any of that, so this is all new to me. I just knew Morgan Le Fay because we watched that one Arthurian film with the guy from Sons of Anarchy.
The Guy Ritchie King Arthur movie that we watched. Yeah, that's a fun movie. That's a dumb fun movie. I can't get into
Morgan Le Fay.
That is a good movie.
That's the most Arthurian legend I know is because of the Guy Ritchie.
I can't. Right, I gotta go. I made that fake granddaughter joke to deflect from my knowledge, and I've somehow shot myself in the foot.
Turns out I have the gun.
Let's jump to Pearl then instead.
I love Pearl.
What do you think of Pearl?
She's an adorable, cute kid. She has got she's just little kid energy, and that's fine.
Mm-hmm. I laughed so hard because you're doing this whole like creepy psychic child vibe is what I got at first, where she appears and she doesn't say anything to you and she runs away, and I was like, I don't know anything about this character. I've seen her before, but I don't know like what is actually gonna happen. Then you hand her this rock, and you're like, talk to me. And then
she beats you to death with it.
Yeah, and then she kills me, and that's the end. No, what she does, she just immediately goes like, oh my god, you're Mystic Maya's boyfriend, and like the cheesy, like goofy music starts playing, and I just lost it. It was so funny to me. I was like, alright, this is a good character. Her theme music is probably my favorite out of all the characters' theme music so far.
Theme of Pearl.
I really like it. I don't know.
It's a good ditty.
It's probably what's playing in my head at all times when I'm not doing anything. Maybe that's why I like it so much.
Yeah, I was really expecting her to be like this reserved, like, I'm the daughter of the prince. Some real, like, fucking Neji Hyuga shit from Naruto, you know what I mean? And then, like...
Sure.
That's true, yeah. I just expected her to be like this, like, quiet and reserved little kid, and then she's like, I ran here from Korean Village to watch the trial.
When we lost our minds when we were playing it on stream for that, and she says, I ran here all the way from Korean Village.
She says, I came here from the village. They're like, you walked here? She goes, no, I ran.
I ran.
And Phoenix earlier has established that it was a 2-hour train ride to get from his office to Korean Village.
Who was the fastest person on the Earth? Who was the fastest person on the Earth in 2004?
I mean,
it wasn't Usain Bolt.
Was in child road races. I was like a secret jock when I was a kid. And let me tell you what, some of those little kids, they got the nice running shoes. They can really book it. I don't think she's wearing the nice running shoes, though.
She's got sandals.
She's got the wooden sandals.
Yeah, she's wearing like Zori or something.
Like, what the hell?
She's like kind of a manga protagonist, right? Like, she's got her own story going on.
She's so cute. I'm glad we all like Pearl.
Now, yes, she's so cute that her mother is willing to commit murder for her.
I would do the exact same thing.
Morgan didn't do it. It was more,
she was in on it.
She was in on it, but it was more the next character. Eenie Meenie.
Yes, it was her, definitely, but Morgan was totally in on it because she wanted to get
she was an accomplice.
Yeah.
I feel like
Morgan for selfish means, but
I feel like Morgan was more than an accomplice. I feel like she was getting
she was like the orchestrator.
Yeah.
Well, no, Eenie was.
I don't think Eenie came up with this plan.
I think
it was Mimi.
Oh yeah.
Fucking spoilers, Des. We're not that far to the podcast. No, so here's what happened. Here's my perspective of this whole event. So going back to the murder that happened last year, not the murder, but the incident where 14 patients died last year, and then a car accident occurred, killing the nurse and hospitalizing the sister. In which reality, what happened is that it killed the sister and hospitalized the nurse. The nurse then received plastic surgery to look like the sister. She got a new life.
They got the wrong fucking driver's license.
Real fucking
There was only
awkward.
one driver's license.
And then
I thought she did it on purpose.
She did. She did do it on purpose.
Okay.
It was I believe she did it on purpose in order to like escape her old life where she was responsible for these 14 deaths. And then
it was like a moment of opportunity thing.
Yeah.
You know, she was on the hospital bed and she was like, wait, I can use this, you know.
Yeah.
Unrealistic as that might be. But yeah, she was like, here, reconstruct my face based off of my sister's.
I was so afraid that they were going to do like that like dual personality thing. Because when they mentioned that she was like a parapsychology major, I was like, please don't fucking tell me you're gonna do the like dual identity. I don't know the proper term for it, but basically where like the killer is like, I got 2 personalities, and one of them was my sister, like Psycho, like Norman
like an
Bates.
episode of Criminal Minds or some shit.
Yeah. So like,
Sure.
I was actually pumped to find out that it was the nurse the entire time who had plastic surgery. So then Dr. Gray goes to the nurse, now sister, and it's like, I'm going to talk to the ghost of the nurse to get her to confess to killing those 14 patients. Wild ass plan from the very get-go. And then
This man is not smart.
And then the nurse sister goes, well, looks like I gotta kill him. And I thought, from my perspective, she convinced Morgan Fay to participate in this plan in order to remove Maya from inheritance of Master of the Karain School. Because like, it's not like Morgan Fay was approached with this idea. Enid approached her. Right?
I mean, I feel like...
Yeah. I mean, Morgan was looking for the perfect opportunity, and this kind of fell on her lap.
Yes.
And she was like, okay, we can work together to do this.
I'm not saying she is not complicit. She is totally complicit. What I'm saying is...
And her hair is enormous.
One person's going to get the death sentence. One person is going to get accomplice sentence. And
actually...
You think both are getting death?
Conspiracy to commit murder is the same, like, level of legal trouble as actual murder.
Oh, so they're both getting the chair.
That's the thing.
They can't give Morgan the chair if they can't fit it on her head.
Capital punishment does exist in the world of Phoenix Wright.
They actually talk about how they're going to die.
I mean, yeah, maybe,
but
depending on how the judge rules it.
Yeah, but I will say most of these characters usually just end up in prison.
Yeah,
it would fucking suck to be sentenced to the death sentence by that judge after he spent 30 minutes bumbling tying his own shoes and being like, all right, you're going to receive the chair tomorrow.
Listen, he looks like my dad. I can't.
He looks like a goofball. Just imagine him going, all right, death by injection. Gavel.
I can't
a red
imagine
card
it.
for sports.
He looks like my dad. I can't see it.
Honestly, yeah, like, I feel like everyone who goes to... That's true. There's no way that any person that we put to jail actually got the death sentence, because this dude, I don't think, has the heart to say, you get the chair. Like, he would just be like, life in prison, and... You know what I mean?
And you know what? That's okay.
That's totally fine, yeah.
Anti-death penalty. I'm taking my stance on this, Indie Phoenix Wright podcast.
I'm a prison abolitionist as well, but we can get to that in a different podcast entirely.
Everything needs to go. Everything. But
I realized that I accidentally brought us here, and I was like, oh god, we're going to talk about something actually political, and I'm not smart enough to say anything.
We're anti-cop, we're anti-death penalty, we're anti-prison.
We're anti-prison, let them all loose.
Let's talk about ghost law again, though.
Okay,
I was going to bring up one other thing here that I found really fascinating, was that Pearl originally was actually going to be like an entirely different character. Originally, she was going to be like a rival for Maya, like an actual like same age, you know, still her cousin and that sort of thing, but like...
I would have hated that.
Like an actual like same age as Maya, like both of them jockeying for being the next leader of the Fae clan, and she would have like kind of the nasty senpai personality with like the ho 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 laugh, you know, kind of thing.
Oh, I mean, I am a sucker for that though. But
then Takumi was like, well, we didn't think that really worked, and we talked with the other designers, and we instead thought it'd be more interesting to have like a younger kid here. So they, you know, then Pearl got redesigned.
Children sell games.
See how you... Well, listen, Takumi said, whenever you need to jack up the ratings, bring in animals and kids.
Kids.
It worked. I'm a sucker. I would kill for Pearl. Morgan's totally justified.
I love... She's fine. She's like a cool character. Like, she's... Because, like, when I was a kid,
cute.
I would have always, like, associated myself with the younger character in the show. Like TK from Digimon or Gohan from Dragon Ball Z.
This is why I get mad when they tell you your age in Pokemon games. It's like, I don't need somebody to tell me I look like I'm 15 in Pokemon when I'm actually 30 or 40 years old.
Well, no, what I'm saying is that back then when I was a child, I would have always associated myself with the younger character.
I know, but I still got mad then because they would play Pokemon and they'd be like, oh, you're 10 years old. I'm like, no, I'm not. I'm 15.
Wait, you were not 15 when the first Pokemon game came out.
I was 7 when the first Pokemon game came out,
There
but
you
you
go,
were
you
like
would've
10
been
years
younger.
old in like the first 3 games.
What I'm saying is this.
I have
Bold
bad
of
news
you
for you.
guys.
Pokemon games are for kids.
Listen, I know that, but Pokemon needs to understand that I'm still playing Pokemon and I am 30 or 40 years old.
Hey, I don't have no still playing Pokemon. I did not get to play video games when I was a kid, so
I just
We're making up for lost time.
Yeah.
I just assume that
it's my
anyone who
dark
assumes that
backstory.
anyone who assumes I'm a child in Pokemon just can't tell age. They just are blind and stupid.
All
I'm
right,
8
now
years old.
we're clearing the table here. Most important new character introduced:
Pearl.
Francisca von
Okay,
Karma,
alright, okay.
I was
the
like,
new prosecutor.
I thought I was going to say a lot of
we didn't
heart.
get to her yet. We've been talking around
She's
her,
not
like we
new.
mentioned her, but
She
but
is new. She is new.
Not Francisca.
yeah,
Lotta's not new.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
fair.
Francisca von Karma is the new prosecutor for this case. Phoenix every time Edgeworth is brought up, Phoenix says he's gone now. He's gone.
He's dead apparently.
He's gone and he's never coming back. He's dead.
Yeah.
Don't talk to me about him, Maya. And Maya's like, what the fuck, Phoenix?
He does say
so instead,
he's...
we need a different
I
prosecutor.
killed him with my own hands.
It does say, he does say to Pearl, like, his pride killed him, and I'm like, just tell her he's on the farm with the other prosecutors. They have
Pearl-
lots
no.
of room to run around and play.
To be fair,
and
Pearl
plenty
is
of green grass to eat.
Pearl is
Yeah.
a spirit medium. She knows about death the most.
It's true.
She is literally trained in the art of talking to the dead.
But what, I mean, but
There, she knows there's no fucking farm.
So here's
She understands there's no farm.
here's some context for Von Karma. Again, from Takumi's blogs, here he talks a little bit about how Miles Edgeworth, after the first game, they were like so overwhelmed by how popular he was. He was so popular that when Takumi started writing game 2, he's like, well, obviously I'm just going to have Edgeworth be the prosecutor for all the cases again. But then he realized something is that, well, if I have Edgeworth be the prosecutor for every single case again in game 2, he's going to lose. He's just going to constantly have to lose because Phoenix has to win, as part of the game story. So how do I fix this? Well, first of all, it's because apparently he decides to write Edgeworth out and kill him. But then also it's because he puts in a different prosecutor. And so that's where we get Francisca von Karma. So that's he's like, I would feel a little bad if Edgeworth, why would anybody call him a prodigy if he keeps losing all the time?
So to avoid making him a beta male, he
Jesus.
oh,
he just took him out.
Just took him right out of the picture. And so instead we got Von Karma.
Well, we know that Miles Edgeworth. So here's the problem: is that we know that Miles Edgeworth is like alive, right?
I don't know. Do you?
At this point, when I played the game the first time, I legitimately thought something happened to him.
I bet something happened to him.
And then they were doing all of this spirit channeling stuff. I'm like, oh my god, he's actually dead. They're gonna talk to him.
Oh,
And he's dead.
Maya summoned Miles.
Well,
Yeah.
She just grows a cravat instead of titties.
now I'm not sure if I should talk about it because I don't want to spoil it. But
Wait, you know a spoiler?
It's not a spoiler. It's the title of one of the fucking video games that we're going to play.
He's alive. He has games. He has his own games.
He has 2 games. This motherfucker's.
Do you know when those games take place in the timeline?
That's fair.
Oh, He's on the farm with the other prosecutors. It's so nice. They're so happy.
I think Rose is closer to the truth than she might realize.
Oh no!
So.
Does Miles Edgeworth become a farmer?
No.
True AU fanatics going wild.
Yeah, he's on the farm with all the other prosecutors. They're having a grand old time up there.
Well, I'm not to say.
Lots of room to run around.
So we've got. After this case, we've got 2 more cases yet for this game, so don't worry. We will get.
Oh, there's only 4 cases per game now. That's weird. I'm halfway through this game.
Listen, I need to social link with Francisca. I love Miles. He's gonna be fine. She's wonderful.
Let's talk about Francisca, because she's the new elephant in the room. I immediately got tired of her speaking quirk where she calls everyone a fool.
Oh yeah, I stopped reading that.
I was just like, dude, come on, you're such a tryhard. Like
she's never won, baby.
She's never lost, right? Is that what you just?
That's what she said. Yeah.
She just chugged a Red Bull and
she became a prosecutor when she was 13.
No, that's bullshit. I hate.
That's how they do it in Germany.
She's a prodigy, Tiago.
I fucking hate prodigies. Listen.
Tiago and I will ask our German friend about this, and we'll get back to you.
I'm 28, and I think that the idea that anyone's a prodigy at the age of 13 is stupid. You're just going to give that child anxiety and mental issues if you just assume they're a prodigy.
There's still 2 cases in this game. Who knows?
She's going to come down with, like, clown syndrome and become a fucking clown or some shit.
She's not okay, right? Like,
no,
she's not. She's definitely not. I mean, originally, Francisca, in the Japanese version of the game, like Von Karma, their whole like shtick is that they're the American prosecutors, right? Who come to Japan. So here they're now German prosecutors who came to America.
And
so she was 13. She became a prosecutor in Germany, was an insane prodigy, came here to America to get revenge against Phoenix Wright for putting her grandfather, Manfred von Karma.
That's not her grandfather, that's her father, right?
Her father.
I thought it was her father. I gotta double check. Yeah, go check.
I thought it was
daughter.
Her
yes, it is. No, you're right. Yes, it is daughter and father. Yeah.
You're implying that there's another fucking von Karma around.
There's a sister.
There's a sister. The reason I got confused is because Von Karma says he has a granddaughter in case 4 of Game 1.
Yeah, the missing sister who never shows up has a daughter.
Yeah. There's an unnamed other sister who I assume is older than Francisca.
Spoilers.
Who has a kid. Yeah. We never ever see her. This is just...
I'm gonna see her next fucking case.
Game?
So her fucking speaking quirk is that she calls everyone a fool because she's so high and mighty. She also beats everybody in court with a whip.
Yeah, that's her real
that
speaking
is quite
quirk.
infuriating.
The first thing she did was assault the judge, which is upsetting because he is my dad.
You can assault the judge. You can assault the defendant, the defense. But you shouldn't be able to hit the witness.
Shout out to Lotta for literally being like, "Hey, what the hell?
That's not okay.
You can't. This is not how. No, don't do that." Like she kind of gave her crap about it for a while.
Also, Lotta Hart comes back this case, and I do love Lotta Hart. I do like that she was like, "Why me?" When she was unrelated.
That's a very good line.
That's so good. Francisca, I love her.
So Francisca is pulling fucking 360 4-dimensional mind chess on Phoenix Wright in order to defeat the case. And in actuality, it's as simple as going to the witness and say, "Hey, don't say that," and then Lotta Hart goes, "Yeah, okay." My bad.
I did 4-dimensional mind chess her because I solved this case.
Yeah, we should talk about the case, right?
The second that
we did the setup.
Yeah, the second that Lotta was like, "Oh, she was in the hospital," I was like, "Plastic surgery. She's the dead sister. I figured this out." Like I had it all sorted.
As someone who works in healthcare, this case was also very infuriating.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
14 dead patients. That's insane.
That's
so many.
As somebody who works in healthcare through the COVID pandemic, that's not as annoying and infuriating as the fucking HIPAA violations that are happening.
I don't even want to talk about HIPAA violation, man.
Yeah, we're not. We can skip over Hottie entirely.
Vomit, and that's all.
Oh,
I think
yeah,
we need to say.
Dr. Hottie is just a nightmare.
I liked his haircut.
Awful.
I didn't like
his
anything.
Purple hair poof.
So here's the thing about Hottie is that
disgusting.
He should be put in the chair.
Don't defend this. Oh yeah, he should be put in the chair.
So
no,
like,
that's not. I don't believe in the death penalty. He's not real.
We're not being serious about this. We all know. Everyone listening to this knows that we don't actually believe that people should be put into the chair. But Director Hottie is a pervert and should be put in a chair.
If you haven't played the case, Dr. Hottie is at one point you go to the doctor's office where Meanie got her plastic surgery done after the accident, and you are able to interview one of the doctors there. And I put doctors, you can't see this on the podcast, but in big scare quotes, because he's not actual doctor.
He's a patient.
Actually a doctor. He's just pretending to be a doctor there, but he knows the info and gives it to you. He is insanely perverted and makes really bad comments the whole time, and it's just insufferable.
Straight up, I forgot about him until you guys brought it up.
Yeah, no, we can totally ignore him, honestly, because he's only in there for really one scene, and then he's gone.
A scene where he gives you medical information on one of the patients.
He has had
simply because you asked.
He has had the most upsetting sprite animations of any character, and that is taking into account that sketchy guy from the Steel Samurai case.
The director?
Really?
I hated that guy, too.
Which one do you hate more?
Salmonella or Hottie?
This guy,
Hottie.
really?
I hate Hottie more
Hottie's worse, I think.
Hottie's got worse animations, and he's violating HIPAA.
I think I hate Salmonella more because at least Hottie didn't speak in leet speak. That's the like.
True.
No, I can forgive leet speak.
I can't.
You can change out of leet speak. We've all been there.
I can forgive being a horrible monster, but I can never forgive leet speak.
I can forgive cringe, but I can't forgive HIPAA violations.
So,
all right, that's the first podcast T-shirt.
Yep, there we go.
Now, I can forgive cringe, but I can't forgive HIPAA violations.
So, let's talk about how this case actually worked out. Like, Enie's plan was...
the real situation that...
The real situation that occurred is that it was essentially a locked room murder where they have to figure out what... There's like 3 solutions to every locked room murder. One of them is the killer was already in the room. The second is the killer entered in afterwards but then escaped, locking the room again. Or the third one is that the killer never entered the room or just killed him from outside. This is a situation where the killer was already in the room.
Yes.
In a box. And then once the channeling begun, they both had their eyes closed. No one fucking heard this nurse come out, knock out Maya, and then stab Dr. Gray because their eyes were fucking closed, I guess. But Dr. Gray...
She was sleeping.
She
didn't knock her out, she drugged her with sleeping pills.
I assumed it was chloroform.
Some kind of sleeping sedative or something.
Yeah. But like, motherfucker, Dr. Gray was carrying heat.
He was. That's the biggest surprise, is that he just had a gun on him just for the hell of it.
What the?
You don't know the shit doctors have to go through on a daily basis.
I don't want my doctor to have a gun. I think that's a reasonable thing for me to say here.
You're my last patient of the day, and I'm gonna fucking snap, bro.
I was just stunned because I was just like, yo, whose gun is this? Like, it came out of nowhere. They're like, oh, it's Dr. Gray's. I'm like, wait, did he plan to shoot the ghost? What was his plan?
Yeah.
So the situation occurs is that Enie dresses up as Maya, pretends to be Maya as she's murdering Dr. Gray, and then Morgan Fay would come in and, oh, look, it's Maya.
Them do the swap-a-roo. Yeah.
And then she covered up the scene, got rid of evidence by trying to burn it, but Pearl just loves playing in trash, apparently, so she got some of the evidence. I guess.
Yeah.
And
she found the key and then
the entire thing started to unravel from there. Dr. Gray was carrying a gun. Enie's plan was got fucked up because Dr. Gray was once again carrying a fucking gun.
It's a big deal if in the original game, if you think of it being set in Japan, having a gun on you is even a bigger deal then.
This dude thought to himself, I'm going to go to a spirit channeling. I gotta make sure they don't caught me lacking. I'm bringing the gun.
All right, this guy, I hated him instantly because, one, he was a bastard, like, obviously. Two,
yeah, he was definitely an abusive boss.
And this is an incredibly petty
That's just
thing,
how doctors are, though, like, to be honest.
But he looks like, the OC of my ex, and, fuck him.
What the fuck?
That's some bad designing.
Wait.
There you go.
I just remembered, you triggered the fucking dark side of my brain. I hated Dr. Gray because his glasses kept sliding down his nose, and that makes me think his face is super greasy. And it's like, bro.
I did think about that, but now that I know, I hate it. Uh-oh.
Oh, Roxy's going bananas.
Everybody, welcome to my dog.
First Roxy appearance on the podcast. Second game.
Yeah.
Wow.
This is my missile. She's beautiful. She's perfect. Sometimes she hears somebody in the parking lot and she thinks they're coming to kidnap her and barks at them.
What?
Gotta protect you.
So Dr. Turner Gray, his name pun was that, like, he was so stressful that he would turn her, the nurse, gray-haired. Right?
I think that's like the general.
Or like he turned people gray because he killed his patients.
Well, he didn't. That's the thing, though, is that he wasn't the one who killed. It was the nurse who fucked up, but she fucked up due to.
It wouldn't have happened, if it wasn't for the doctor.
Yes.
Yeah. The setup is definitely that he's overworking all of his employees and is really
just like healthcare today.
To be totally fair, I think they're both at fault, and both of them should have been in the car accident with their siblings, and both of them should have been able to have.
Then he gets plastic surgery to look like Mimi.
We're handing out a lot of death penalties today.
Bang! Dr. Turner Gray was apparently going to hand out his own with his fucking gun.
Why would he bring we did.
He did not.
Already.
He was going to a spirit channeling village and thought to himself, maybe they're packing heat. I can't be caught without my piece.
This 8-year-old girl, she's
fucking psychic. Maybe she's gonna fucking, like, Akira him. Gotta fucking, I don't know. The point is, Dr. Gray, all this happened because of him. Because of his first insane plan to channel a ghost to get her to sign a confession. And then B, well, no, he would have died anyway, right? Because he got stabbed in the chest. Never mind. She was going to stab him regardless of whether or not he had a gun. In fact, him having a gun was the only reason why Maya was able to be disproved as the killer. Because of the photo shots by Lotta and the bullet hole in her sleeve. So thanks to Turner Gray being a pro-gun doctor, we were able to save Maya. And this entire case takes place before the first one, because this is a flashback.
Yep. This entire case takes place before horrendous crimes are committed on the sofa outside of the fucking courtroom.
Before you get beat by a con artist with a fire extinguisher. I gotta say, I kind of love this case, because I do love a closed room murder. It's a classic setup.
I also loved the characterization of Mimi, where, like, you know, you present this thing of, like, oh, you know, Dr. Gray, he overworked you, he got you, you know, he caused you to kill all those patients, you know, maybe he killed you, maybe he, you know, killed your sister, like, you know, you want revenge. And she's like, nah, I just don't want to get caught.
Yeah.
Like, fuck my dead sister. Like, oh my gosh, you are... Oof.
There's one little moment where if you present her own profile to her, she briefly goes, does like a moment of like, oh, who's that? Oh, no, that's me. Just kidding. I'm just messing with you, Phoenix.
Yeah.
I like when if you pester her about the car too much, she starts like freaking out and like yelling about cars and like doing all those like little animations.
You don't understand. This is a fucking European car. This shit's tight as fuck, boy.
He doesn't know. Look at him. He's gay as hell.
I do want to bring up the psyche locks a little bit here.
Oh yeah,
big addition to gameplay.
Because that's a pretty big
Iconic.
change. But it's basically the way I've always thought of it is bringing a little bit of the courtroom gameplay out into the investigation segments.
Yeah.
So you get to present
looking through garbage until you find something.
Yeah, so you get to do a little bit of that cross-examining style gameplay while you're just talking to people. Yeah, did everybody enjoy this? Was this, did this like feel like a hassle, or was this more like, oh boy, I know I get to do a little bit more of my favorite part kind of thing?
I do remember being kind of frustrated when they first showed it up, because I was like, I don't want to do this if I don't know if I have enough stuff to do it. Like,
right.
They were like, well, if you don't have enough information, you just gotta come back later. And I'm like, how am I supposed to know if I got enough stuff? And I was just like, this is a lot to think about.
Much to think about.
Much to think about.
God
Tiago and I,
yep,
same thought.
Same
Brain cell once again.
How did you feel, Rose?
I mean, obviously, my entire Ace Attorney knowledge is like screenshots and gift sets from Tumblr. So like the appearance of the locks.
Sounds like you followed a lot of cool people back then.
I did follow cool. I think I may have followed Ben before I knew who Ben was, but that's a story for another time.
Wow, the circle of our friendship is ever closing.
The circle of life is wild, everybody. But there's just something about when you ask a question and the screen goes dark and those locks start flying across the screen that is so satisfying with audio, and you don't really get that on Tumblr gift sets.
Yeah.
I always was a big fan of it because those were my favorite parts, was the courtroom bits. I always have a little bit more fondness for them than investigation segments.
Yeah,
so I was always
really
really happy to whenever a lock popped up, because I was like, okay, rubbing my hands together, I'm ready to get in there. And yes,
you're getting
sometimes
that satisfaction of getting, catching people in lies or whatever that you would only get from the courtroom now outside of it. Because before you okay, I'm just investigating and building up, my stuff for when I actually do go to court and start to tear bitches apart.
I think it's a smart idea gameplay wise. It sort of breaks things up and lets them do more segments where oh, the instance has changed now. Maybe you can go click on more stuff. So
right.
The green text.
Yeah. Go look around. Solve this.
So in order for me to discuss this, I need to bring up my experience with the previous game, in which that I'm playing on the Nintendo Switch version. So the meter already existed for me.
Oh, right. You didn't have the exclamation points.
No, there was always 5 hits, but there was a meter instead of a thing. And this meter would recharge in between any gap in time. So when the case had a recession and then we went back to the courtroom, it refilled essentially. In this case, that did not happen because of the Cyclock mechanic.
Right.
Which means I was immediately more fucking stressed because I was like, oh shit, I'm getting my ass beat outside the courtroom. Eeny Meeny killed me she killed me. And I was like, you know what happens when you run out? Is that the thing just goes, Phoenix, you must stop, your soul is going to break, and then you're booted out of the conversation, and you have to start from the beginning. And I'm like...
That's fucked up!
Fucked up, dude.
I want to be killed by Francisca von Karma. I don't want to be killed by fucking Meanie.
So there's a scene in which Mia possesses Maya in the detention center.
Yes.
And Mia has Cyclops, and I'm like, Mia, listen. You need to fucking tell me what's up. I'm going to die if you don't. I will literally... My soul will break if you do not tell me why your aunt wants to kill your fucking sister. This is for your sister. Why are you torturing me like this? I get that you're my mentor, but please.
I mean, eventually, once you get the right evidence necessary to break those locks,
I knew the solution to that one.
The thing is, I'm not bright.
But it's portrayed as not as necessarily Mia hiding something from Phoenix per se, but more like her testing you.
I understand that she's testing me, but her testing me almost killed me.
She's testing him to death.
Yeah, like, I'm going to die.
She's just standing there tasing me.
I'm literally.
No, Phoenix, that's not right.
The thing is, so it's like his soul breaking. So I imagine he's just having more of a panic attack. He is going to have an anxiety attack and pass out if you do not tell me the answers, Morgan Le Fay. Mia,
so
Maya,
relatable.
Whatever.
Morgan Le Fay, please. Everyone read Miss Babylon. All right, I gotta stop.
So like, I like the psychological mechanic because it does bring actual fucking threat to outside the courtroom. But now that means I gotta be on my fucking toes, and I'm scared. I'm scared because now I feel like I'm gonna get killed outside the courtroom. Before, only the judge could kill me, and now it's PvP.
This is why these games feel exhausting. After you finish the last case, you feel like you need to take a nap for 5 years.
Only my own dad can kill me.
Now I'm like, Eenie Meenie's gonna beat me over the head with a fucking bead bracelet or whatever the fuck she's wearing.
Magatama?
What?
Magatama?
No, her fucking wooden bead bracelet.
Oh,
the only person who had a Magatama was Maya, who gave it to you, and Pearl.
Yeah. Yeah, Pearl has one.
I know Magatama from Shin Megami Tensei. You can cut that out.
If we talk about any other video games, cut it out.
Cut it out.
So the courtroom case for the final day, then you get to put both Eenie Meenie and Morgan Fay on the stand.
Who's Mini Miney?
Yeah, who's Mimi Miney?
I'm already confused.
Mini Mo. And then you also get Mia on your side to help you out the whole time, because Pearl then channels Mia's spirit as well, so she can be on your side. And Francisca apparently gets it set up in the courtroom so that it is televised to the entire country, TV. I guess.
It was vague.
Which is it? Yeah. It doesn't exactly.
Tri-state area.
But they say like, oh yeah, this is being live. This is being publicized in some way. But it is left a little vague. And we kind of already went through it a bit. But yeah, you break it down. You prove that Mimi is actually the one on the stand, and how she got plastic surgery done to look like her sister who died in the car accident. And then you link her and Morgan together. And Francisca is devastated that she loses this case. She kind of falls apart there at the end. She threatens you at the end.
She whips the fuck out of everybody, and then whips the fuck out of you.
And when you get to the the courtroom lobby, then she pops up and looks you dead in the eyes and is like, "I'm still gonna fucking get you one way or another."
Me when I fucking get you.
And then, we get those brief moments with Phoenix and Maya and Pearl talking to each other. You get the little drop of, where's Edgeworth? Don't talk about him.
I assume.
And then we get our final cutscene in which we see Morgan looking down at a picture saying, oh, one day I'm going to get my revenge.
It's
just leaving that hanging for the future.
She'll be back.
I do like that they established like a straight up villain for Phoenix. He hasn't had like a fucking death threat. You know what I mean?
Right.
Von Karma tased me.
Yeah, but he didn't finish the job. I would say that
Morgan is more of a villain for Maya.
And then the other Von Karma whips
that's
you
fair.
to unconsciousness.
That's okay. I forgive her instantly.
So, like...
Everyone, I'd like to formally apologize for how outrageously horny I am for Francisca Von Karma. I think we all knew it was coming.
We all knew it was coming.
It's here now, and I just want to be upfront about it. This is her first episode, and, yeah.
I appreciate the honesty.
I love a woman in shoulder pads. What can I say?
Mm-hmm.
Are those shoulder pads? They look more like poofs, like in a...
They're more like
power
poofs,
shoulder pads.
But okay. I'm gonna let it slide.
Here's my thing, is that Pearl's definitely, like, doesn't have a guardian anymore. Are we gonna adopt her?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. That sounds good. Just want to
I
make
said
sure.
that really confidently, and I'm glad you backed me up, Des.
You're welcome.
Yeah. I don't. Not formally, but like essentially.
Yeah,
Child labor!
she's gonna work at the office now. She's gonna be like the coffee getter or whatever. Like,
She needs a place to live.
I mean, does Phoenix live at the office?
No, he does have an apartment. How he affords it, I don't know.
Because
he does have an
He's a
apartment.
lawyer. Lawyers make a bajillion dollars. I know they don't talk about this, but they literally make a bajillion dollars.
Well, yeah, I get, but like,
Also, Phoenix takes like 3 cases a year, though.
Yeah,
that's fair.
Yeah,
I think,
but these are huge cases. They're always murder cases.
well,
Guess where all the
think-
money's at?
You think Maya's paying him?
Maya's not paying
hell
him.
He has to defend her because otherwise he has to do everything himself, and that would just be chaos.
I feel
Yeah,
like
next case, the next client could probably pay. We'll get there.
I feel like Phoenix is actually just like really bad at business and his money. Like, obviously, Miles Edgeworth is, or was, because he's dead now, making bank. Like,
Yeah.
he has a fancy sports car. He's got all this good shit. There's several jokes in the quote unquote final case of one about how much money the prosecutors make.
And the
you know,
detectives
I think
don't.
Phoenix is a defense attorney, so he makes less, and B, he's just not good at this like money stuff. Like, he doesn't take cases. He takes cases like
This
unpaid.
is like the thing where it's like he's a lawyer, he has money, of course, because he's a lawyer, and we don't need to talk
Yeah, but
about
he's
money.
in debt because of law school.
Probably.
So no,
Yeah.
let's actually review his
yeah.
cases from the first game. First client.
We don't have time for this.
No.
Listen, some of us are very poor.
Here's what I'm
Possibly
saying.
more than one of us.
The first client was Larry, who paid him in a statue that then killed his boss.
Correct.
So then the second client was Maya, who's
Correct.
a teenager from a spirit channeling village, broke as fuck. The third one
Now has access to Mia, who will tell him to believe in himself, therefore winning him just about every fucking
the third
case
client
that he takes.
was a washed up Toku actor.
That, you know what?
Who's an actor? He's an actor.
You might have made some money off of
At
that
a
one.
local fucking studio that was so broke it allowed tours for money.
I mean, I didn't say a lot of money.
The fourth case, Miles Edgeworth, probably his own paying client. Dead ass.
God, I hope
Yep.
Miles paid us.
The fifth case, Emma Sky, I guess paid him. Right?
You got paid by the state on
We
that
got
one.
paid
Like,
by the...
you got,
honestly...
you got tax money
Lana
for that
Sky,
one.
yeah.
Yeah,
made sure
Lana Sky
probably
would
that he
make
got
sure
paid.
that you got paid.
She
That's
seems
fair.
responsible. She,
Yeah.
yeah.
And in this case,
So
again...
2 out of 5.
This case, Maya, again, still broke as fuck from the spirit channeling village.
No money.
No money. Unless
She
he's
could
gonna...
give him some kind of artifact that he could probably sell for a lot of
His
money.
fucking magic artifact that he uses to go inside people's brains. He can't sell that.
I need that. I
You
need that
need
item.
that. And like...
I didn't say it was something that he already gave her. I'm
And
saying
the next
she
case
could
was
give
a
him.
police officer who was like about to quit her job because she's so shitty at it.
I
Maggie
think that's
Bird.
Miles. Okay, so not Miles. Miles is fine. Miles is on the farm. Phoenix definitely gets like public defender money, like at best.
He has Better Call Saul
Yeah.
money.
So like
That's
he's
my
surviving.
suspicion. Is yes, that's the ballpark we're working in. Is
He's fine.
is-
He
He's
gets
okay.
paid, but not a lot because he's public defender money.
He probably has like maybe health insurance and
He can't
don't
afford
know.
a Nintendo Switch OLED.
well, buddy, neither can I.
Yeah, neither can I.
also he's at best he's playing Snake on his cell phone.
That's
Yeah,
fair.
Come
it's
on.
true.
It's
It's like
2004.
2005.
He couldn't get a Game Boy Advance. He wouldn't be
Get
able.
those sick MIDI ringtones though.
Oh hell
Oh,
yeah!
good for him.
I should get Phoenix Wright ringtones on my phone.
That's a good
okay,
ringtone.
wait.
I
One,
remember
So-
that was one of the things I said I wanted when I was playing
What-
these games originally. So bad, wanted to get the Blue Badger theme on my phone, but it didn't exist yet.
one music note I do want to make. That one brief flashback where Maya's talking about Edgeworth, and it plays the original like theme that was me and Dess's. Me and Tessa's
Yeah.
favorite from the first game was so beautiful. And then Phoenix immediately was like, no, don't talk about him. I'm sad. So, but it was a good moment. I loved it.
He's at the farm, but like it's LA, so the farm's just at San Francisco.
He's on the other side of the bridge now.
He's up the hill.
So yeah, we have 2 more cases yet in this game. Next up is Turnabout Big Top. We would have had another case here, but it actually got transplanted to game 3 because they didn't have enough room on the cartridge originally.
Wait, what?
God love
Really?
them.
Yeah, there was gonna be 5 cases in game 2 at first, but when they could not fit them all on the literal cartridge on the storage it had, they took one of the cases out and moved it over to game 3.
So
you know who probably could have fixed that? Iwata probably could have fixed that.
I don't know where you were going with this. He doesn't work at Capcom though.
No, but he did that for both Pokemon games, the first and the second Pokemon games.
That's what he was
fair.
Well known for. But
he put Mew under the truck.
That's him. Oh,
he
definitely.
Put Mew in the truck. And he could have put the next case in the game.
So we will only have 2 more cases here yet. But the next one is Turnabout Big Top. We shall see how that goes because this is considered one of the most disliked cases out of the entire game series.
There's a clown in it. Isn't there?
People really don't like this one. There is a clown in it, yeah.
Okay.
I think there will also be some characters in this that y'all will like as well. We'll see how it goes.
I'm told
and also,
I need to be on the lookout. And I've heard this case is a sin against God, but I've also heard a couple people say it's not actually as bad as people say. So we'll find out.
It's been a long time since I played it, So I also am curious if I will come through it and just go, it's just average at this point. So I'm honestly looking forward to playing through it.
Because we're not going to struggle with it because we know what happens.
Yeah, but there's
I'll struggle.
I believe that there is an animation thing, much like the boat shopkeeper happening again here, if I recall correctly.
No.
So that's part of it. That's part of it as well. In addition to the story not being as compelling.
That's what I hate the most.
There's a couple of layers to it. So again, we will see how this goes. But I think that'll do it for Reunion and Turnabout anyway for this case, unless anybody had any last words on this one.
Very fun.
It was a sweet case. I liked it a lot.
Locked room mysteries are always fun, I think.
Yeah.
Maybe not always, but 99% of the time they're fun. That'll do it for us this week. 2 weeks from now, we will be playing Turnabout Big Top. If you want to see Dessy and I and some of our other friends, sometimes Rose and Tiago on there too.
Always Iro.
Yeah, always Iro in the rotating guest chair. We will be playing that through the Let's Play. So check out our Twitter account to get updates on that, which is @AceAttorneyPod. And that will have all the updates for the streams and the VODs after we are done. You can follow me on Twitter @YotsBen. Dessy, where can people find you?
Yes, this is Des on Twitter if you're hungry for that sweet, sweet simp retweeting.
And Tiago, where can people find you?
You can follow me @Tiago S. Dutra. And depending on how the next week's couple of weeks go, maybe there'll be stuff on there. Who knows?
Mm-hmm. And Rose.
People can find me at Trom Arts on Twitter. Please buy my art. And also, I now have a personal account, which is @RoseNonsense, which is where I pretend to be a neurotypical person with a podcast. So come on down.
All right. Well, thank you so much for listening. We hope you'll rate and review us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or your favorite podcast platform. Next episode, again, we will be heading into Case 3, Turnabout Big Top. See you next time. Bye.
Bye. Shout out to that one person who left an iTunes review. I love you. Bye.